Hey YouTube, Smoking DM here. I've been working on a lot of projects lately, and I just wanted to do a little quick show and tell of some of the stuff I made, and give you a little bit of an idea of how I made them. So without further ado, I'll start showing you some stuff. Okay, first I'd like to talk a little bit about repurposing. Uh, this is out of HeroQuest. I just gave it a nice little paint job. Came out pretty cool. Little weapons rack. See, as also as far as repurpose from HeroQuest. Gargoyle, made of stone. Figure I use them as a statue. Along with, I had two of these. I don't know how. Collecting pieces of games over the years, but I have two of the barbarians or warriors from the game, and they both had the sword broken. So I figured that could actually, it was inspiration for another quest idea for finding the blades for the weapons, and that brings these characters back to life. And actually, one of the ideas I have bouncing around is usually making cohorts for games, but this time I was thinking doing it 2 levels less than the average cohort, and just divvying up and having 2 of them that are like alpha and omega teamwork feats and such. Big ogre. Let's see if we can get some detail. Try to match the paint scheme to the Paizo new line, kind of like yellowish, I don't know, Jardia like skin. Let's see. And then got a whole bunch of these I made as far as miniatures, but I don't want to get too far into the miniatures because I figure out to set them all up. I'll show you that. Alright, and these came out pretty good. Little fountains. I used double thick cardboard for the interior circle, and a strip of card strip around the sides for the stone walling with the little paint job on there. And for the underneath, for the basin, I used some air dry clay, and the top, of course, is hot glue. And how I got it to flow down like that was I took some dental floss, because if you look, you can actually see how it's kind of crystalline and clear. You can actually see inside because I painted the base like blue and stuff. But I took pieces of dental floss and I dipped them into the dark blue as well, and then white glued that to the top and strung it down to the bottom, and then used that as a guide system for the glue to run up. But some of them actually, if you can see, like that one's a freeform drip. Came out quite nice even without the use of the guide. But yeah, those came out pretty cool. Another piece I've made. Just looking through the handbook, like, what do I need? A fireplace. Thought that came out pretty cool looking. The base itself is cardboard with covering up with hot glue, and that is white glued and hot glued to this backing to give it more support to make it stand up. The chimney itself is all made out of air dry clay, except for the stones around here, and I do have a picture of this in the raw I will throw in as well. So you can see how I kind of baseline and made it. And then if you look down even closer inside, it's got the little roasting meat on a spit over the fire. The fire itself is made of little shish kebab skewers cut up to make logs, and then flexible modeling paste pulled up. As DM Scotty has shown, a lot of people already, including myself. Yeah, and I kind of went crazy with this clay and made a couple things and based them, so when I put them into the dungeon, and I'm still thinking I'll do like just a junk pile in a dungeon just so you can see how all this stuff bases out and looks. I made some large sacks, all air dry clay, just paint, and everything that I make by hand gets clear coating, or should I say a gloss, because it prevents it from chipping and keeps the color looking more vibrant. Let's see, in addition to sacks, I did pots. This was Baldur's Gate inspired. Yeah, good old-fashioned pots to smash up and check inside of. This one was kind of easy. Looks like, whoa, come on, it's focused. Looks like a pile of poop. But, yeah, it's supposed to be sacks of grain. There we go. Nothing much to it. These ones were a little difficult, but it came out pretty cool. Barrels. Just made them. Air dry clay, except for the bands themselves around them are thin strips of cardstock and stripped around with white glue and just sort of held in place until it dried, and then glossed to make sure everything sticks together nicely. This was a fun little experiment. Actually turned out pretty cool. Little beads that you get, bags of beads for $3 or so. I found out if you just smash them up, break them with like a pair of channel locks or pliers, they come out pretty cool looking as far as gems. So that led to this, a sack of gems being spilled. There we go, focus. Hey, alright. But yeah. Got a bit of a luster to it and stuff. Pretty sweet. This is a fire pit using natural large stones out of my flocking, some broke up toothpicks for the logs, and the fire is made out of cotton and glue. Of course, they're coated. And then a couple little sacks, small sacks. This is a pile. That was actually, I made this first before I made the gems. What else we got here? Believe I talked about, well, I didn't talk about it yet on this video, but I have another video which I will insert right about now. Hey you guys, it's been a long time since I posted, and I'm just doing projects lately, and I do plan on showing a video of all the stuff I've been making, but I figured I did see somebody, I believe it's DMG, pretty good channel. I actually subscribed to him as well. He was making mushrooms, and I don't know, I kind of thought it seemed like a lot of work when you can just get some good old-fashioned air dry clay. Compliments of DM Scotty, great channel as well. Yeah, pretty simple. I just, take some clay and roll it out, and then just make a mushroom shape and stick it on top, and you get something like that. So I figured just gonna let it dry, and pen it up and show it the rest of the stuff that I plan on showing. Alright. As you can see, you can do different shapes and forms. I did these ones upside down so they dry. I can flip them upside down and they'll be like the long, skinny type. Should be pretty cool looking. And these are the finished results of making the mushrooms. Came out pretty cool looking. Long stalks. And then I got the shorter versions that I made as well. And I'll throw a couple of these in there too, just for reference. One of the dungeon tiles I have. El Generico dungeon tiles. And that's why I like making all this dressing. Builds up a lot of stuff. So, air dry clay is kind of where it's at as far as I'm concerned, because then you can do other stuff like cactuses. Because I do plan on making another battle mat, which I will still show you. Just wanted to show you all the little toys I made first. Boom. Coral reef for those fun underwater adventures. Of course, I made a pile of each of these things, about a half dozen of each. And then I got a couple of these nests I made. For the nesting materials, I did add a little bit of, I took a bamboo skewer and broke it up. You can see like the little pieces in there. I kind of like let it splinter, and then kind of embedded that into the air dry clay, and let that dry separately from the other pieces, the eggs that I made out of also air dry clay. Just rolled up little egg shapes, and then glued them in, and then hit it with a little bit of black just to kind of bring it back and make it all pop again. Let's see what else we got here. DM Scotty did the black tentacle stuff, and I think you just saw how I put a picture in because I'm actually editing and shooting this at the same time. That I did the 1 cent base, what I call. This one is a 41 cent base because it has so much weight. It's a quarter with a nickel and a penny and then a dime. You give it a whole bunch of weight in the bottom. And I will be using these. If you saw my ships, how cool is this going to be? I will show you coming off my battle mat because, yeah, I like how shiny and wet they look. High gloss up the wazoo. And also, I'm going to double this. I'm going to recycle at least one of the tentacles for another encounter as well. So, multi-purpose, like I said, is always a good thing. Nest, made a large nest. Little pieces and scraps and stuff. Be good, I thought, to have a covenant of harpies. Put them all in there together. I got one encounter in mind with a large horn that could be blown. So I made a horn. This is pretty cool. Some more repurposing. Hero Quest stuff. Sorry about the fingers and such. Hero Quest. Except I took it and made a bottom for it. And it used to just be a cardboard bottom, but now pop it open. And I have different things to put in there, but I figured leave it blank, and then I could put different stuff in there, so, you know, repurpose again, you know. So I could put a corpse in there, or I could put money in there, or I could put like a secret stairwell in there. It goes on, etc., etc. Another repurposing. Altar. The flames on the candles, cotton with glue, and the top was a regular piece of it. Didn't have any flames. I added the flames, painted it after I also cardboarded it out, and then around the edge to get that veil like surrounding a stone there. That's just hot glue and a little technique. Stuff I made. Yes, these are pretty freaking cool if I do say so myself. I'm gonna grab them all. The Elemental Monoliths. DM Scotty, again, kudos, because he had made something like these. I made mine a little bit smaller. They're 2x2 or 10-foot round, game terms. You got your water, earth, air, and fire. And I kind of took it and ran with it because I thought how cool would it be to have these monoliths throughout the game and have them actually be like chaotic parts of the world that's gone sentient, and the elements are coming to life, and they make these geoforms, if you will, that are quite chaotic and do destruction to anything that's around them. So party gets to go and take care of those a couple times. So, and also I was thinking about using those to make spells and summon elemental monolith, and you have to destroy a monolith to get the components to be able to cast the spell. Alright, moving on. Bridge. Yeah, we've seen bridge, but this one's kind of cool. The idea that I thought that worked out pretty well for this one, first off, it's got like a wood top, and it looks like it's stone on the side. And the top right here is a piece of cardboard, and all the this piece right here is cardboard, and you do the little cuts into the cardboard halfway through. These are actually just card strips laid on top, because down below here, I don't know how many people are familiar with makeup. I like to do a lot of Halloween makeup myself, zombies and such. You got these little corner makeup applicators, and that's what the base is. And it gives you a pretty good angle so stuff can stand on it and it won't tip. And also, this is another good example of not needing to use lines, because if you actually look, every 3 boards is an inch. Clever design in action. Alright, what else we got? Oh, this one came out pretty damn cool. Took quite a bit on it, but a library, Wizard Library bookshelf. Got all the books. The books, courtesy DMG, actually is the best way I found to make books. I tried to do Dungeon Master Johnny, whatever he's calling himself nowadays, his technique with the magazines, but man, it was just a nightmare. So popsicle sticks, hot glue, and a little bit of cardstock and some paint, and then repurposing. Let's see if I can zoom in on that proper like. There we go. Skull, and then the other side is just a pearl to make like a crystal ball on there. But the skull is Hero Quest piece. Just chopped it down to make it work. Throw it in. Repurposing all the way. Let's see here. We got, boom, big old bone. Air dry clay. Easy enough, I mean. I don't know. What else to say? A bone, yeah. Okay. Gelatinous cube. I talked about this a while ago in my last video post, and here it is. Boom. Made mine a while ago, actually, and I did little images, as if you can see. Let's see here. On mine, I painted mine first in the internal, so you got little coins and pieces of metal, skulls and bits of bone and axe heads, and swords and little pieces of metal and shit like that floating around in there still. So, you know, I don't know. When the gelatinous cube wants breakfast and wants to eat the eggs, of course the bottom is empty as well. Whoop, right over the top. And I kind of did like how I saw DM Scotty did like the circular pattern and stuff like that, but I don't know. The old school ones, to me, one of the concepts that I remember about gelatinous cubes is they're like flat and translucent. You can actually see like right through them. And this one you can. That was kind of the idea. So, yeah. It's cool though. Had this idea and did it before DM Scotty. Just don't post as fast as he does, darn it. Oh well. Great minds, like I was saying, great minds. Let's see what else we got here. Graveyard shit. This one, total DM Scotty. I don't know if I showed off mine yet, but my Crackling Oat brand, or otherwise known as Crawled Out Graves. And then this I made also for the graveyard. A nice mausoleum. Just all cardboard. Top is hot glue with just a little bit of technique on it, trying to make it look more like a roof. Not much really to this one, just cardboard, cardstock. Just came out pretty cool, and definitely thought it would look cool with these. These I made also out of clay. Let me get some of these graves out of here. Headstones. And these came out pretty damn dope, if I do say so myself. Especially on that crypt and shit. Come on now. You can't say that's not cool. They even made some cross ones. Made 3 different type, like round top, crosses, and then good old standard square looking ones. But yeah, soak that in. Pretty freaking cool. Alright. Set up a little, I don't know, graveyard corner on my battle mat when I finally show you that. Speaking of battle mats, well, let's hold off on that just one more time. One last piece of clay. I'm going to do a backing on this very similar to the fireplace I showed earlier. Because, you know, skulls are fucking sweet. Do I need to excuse any other excuse? So, maybe there is an excuse. For people that don't like skulls, adventurers love gems. So, you know, if anything, a little bit of inspiration to want to rob that skull of its precious jewels. And how I want to do it is do some sort of a setup so I can actually put it on the edge of the wall, so it stands up on top of the little 1/4-inch strip. The typical 2.5 battle tile. And then I got these, which don't have the gridding on them, but these are, I don't know exactly what they're called. Ground pikes, I guess. I'm not sure. But the idea is, you put them into the ground to impede an army from marching on you, or horses from charging. And I will throw a couple of those in there just to have that cool little setup that I said I wanted to do. And let's see here. I shouldered boulders, so I don't need to break those out. Oh, nothing real special. You guys seen these, I'm sure, too. Fences, gates. Got a couple of these I made. Plan on making more. And also have an idea to do them half the size, cut the toothpick in half, and put all the bottom on the flat bottom, and then sort of shorten up the cardboard and do a fence, because it'd be really cool to have a fence around my graveyard. But yeah, trees. Thought about that for a while, and I saw that Ian Scotty did something like flat, and I kind of ran with that idea. Flat tree. The stump symbolizes the person's actually climbing in the tree, so they can just put themselves flat on top of that, symbolization that there's somebody in the tree. And if you look at the roots, actually, how they're partitioned off when I did the hot glue, so that sets up pretty nice on the grid. Alright, talked about it enough. Let me move some of this stuff over. The battle mat. Alright, boom. First off, I'll show you the blue side. 36 by 36 inches, 3 by 3 feet. So, you got your blue side, and, you got your sweet little tentacles crashing out of the water. To have my boat, up underneath here, and the tentacles grabbing sailors and ripping them off, bringing them down to the deep blue abyss of doom. And then, because I figured it'd probably look cool, take a couple of those real quick. A couple of those corals. Yeah. Underseas. Water undersea adventure. Alright. And then, of course, the other side. And all this is the thickest cardboard I could find, double thick, with the double thick. And then, went to a fabric store and got some fabric that, I figured color-wise it would work well for what I'm working with. So, you take one of these and throw them on there. Enough color to make it stand out, But the idea is to use this to pretty much build everything up. And then the idea is I'm going to make hills and mountainous terrain and all that stuff and grid that up too and have those to throw on here as well. So, I think that's pretty much everything. So, I'll stop this real quick and set up all the miniatures that I painted up, at least the bad guys, and show the evil enemy force, and maybe we can throw in some cool music or something. Alright. Thanks again for watching my videos, and I'll let the music take us away along with some cool little video. People come up. Yeah.
this one. Check it. Since 1516, minds attacked and overseen. Now trying to mix the ruins of this empty dream with their borders and boots on top of us, pulling out on the floor of the toxic metropolis. But how you gonna get what you need to get? The gut eaters, blood drenched, get offensive like that. The fifth sunsets get back proclaimed. The spirit of Quatemma, alive and untamed. Now face the fog, now blasting out your speaker. War to war, fire, Mexica. They want you came to try to steal your name, but now you got a gun. And this is for the people of the sun. Who's coming back around again? This is for the people of the sun. It's coming back around again. It's coming back around again. This is for the people of the sun. It's coming back around again. Yeah, never forget back to whip. Snap your back, your spine crack for your back. Oh, I'm the Marlboro man. A back blasting all through the verses. Bringing to tactic cash. Roll a Broadway like curses. Truth tripping suit. Shot to red men. Taking blood of the death. From system resist. From the era of terror. Check this photo lens. Not a city of angels. Nothing at the cleanse. Head bobbing to the funk out your speaker. On the one. Fire. Mexica. The motion came to try to steal your name, but now you found a gun. Your history. This is for the people of the sun. It's coming back around again. This is for the people of the sun. It's coming back around again. Yeah. It's coming back around again. This is for the people of the sun. It's coming back around again. It's coming back around again. This is for the people of the sun. It's coming back around again. It's coming back around again. This is for the people of the sun. It's coming back around. Of the sun.
My name's Deckard Cain, and I come from Tristram. If you're looking for Diablo, then you just missed him. If you find old Griswold, then you can take him down, but you'll get no reward till you come back to town. Thanks for my life. I'll identify your stuff, but if you choose to journey on, then it's gonna get tough. Greetings, friend. Here's the road to the east. You'll find that it's blocked, 'cause Andario's a beast. Greetings, greetings.